Imagine sitting alone at night, your room completely silent, when suddenly you hear someone whisper your name. You turn around, but no one is there. Your heart starts beating faster. You tell yourself it was just your imagination, maybe the wind, maybe your mind playing tricks on you. But then it happens again. The same whisper, closer this time, right next to your ear. You feel a chill run down your spine as you realize something terrifying. The voice knew your name. Tonight's stories are not myths, not movies, not urban legends passed around for entertainment. These are real experiences shared by real people who swear that what they saw, what they heard, was not human. People who went to sleep in familiar rooms and woke up feeling watched. People who heard footsteps in empty houses, saw shadows move without a source, and felt a presence standing inches away from them in the dark. Watch till the end, because after this video, you may never feel alone again. Story 1: The Locked Bathroom. This incident happened to a university student named Daniel, a quiet, introverted young man who believed in logic, routine, and explanations. He was not the kind of person who believed in ghosts, spirits, or anything supernatural, at least not before he moved into that house. Daniel had recently transferred to a university in a new city. He needed a place close to campus, somewhere affordable, quiet, and away from distractions. Dorms were noisy, apartments were expensive, so when he found an old rental house just 15 minutes away from his university, it felt like luck. The house was cheap, too cheap. It stood at the end of a narrow street where the lights flickered and most houses remained dark, even at night. The building itself looked old, cracked paint, narrow windows, and a heavy wooden door that creaked every time it opened. But inside, it was clean, almost untouched. 2 bedrooms, a small kitchen, a living room that smelled faintly of dust and damp wood, and 2 bathrooms. When Daniel met the landlord, an elderly man with sunken eyes and a voice that sounded tired, he noticed something strange. The landlord avoided eye contact. As Daniel signed the papers, the old man paused, his hand trembling slightly. Then he said, "Never use the second bathroom at night." That was all. No explanation, no story, just that one sentence. Daniel smiled awkwardly and laughed it off. He assumed it was some superstition. Old people had strange habits, maybe plumbing issues, maybe weak pipes. He didn't ask questions. That was his first mistake. First night. Daniel moved in on a Monday. He unpacked his bags, set up his desk, connected his laptop, and spent the evening studying. By midnight, exhaustion took over. The house was silent. No traffic, no neighbors talking, not even the sound of stray dogs. The silence felt thick, like it was pressing against the walls. Daniel lay in bed and closed his eyes. At exactly 2:47 a.m., his eyes snapped open. No nightmare, no sudden noise, just a feeling, a strange, suffocating feeling that something was wrong. Then he heard it. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, tap, tap, tap. They were coming from the hallway, just outside his bedroom door. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. He held still, listening. The steps stopped. Silence returned. He checked his phone. 2:47 a.m. He remembered something that made his stomach tighten. He lived alone, no roommates, no pets. He stayed awake until sunrise. The second night, Daniel convinced himself it was stress. New city, new environment. His brain was adjusting. At 1 a.m., he locked his bedroom door, just in case. At 2:47 a.m., the sound returned, this time louder. Footsteps moving back and forth, not wandering, pacing. Daniel sat up in bed, heart pounding so loudly he was sure it could be heard outside the room. Then the footsteps stopped, and another sound replaced them, crying, soft, broken. A woman's sobs. The sound was coming from the second bathroom. Daniel froze. The crying wasn't loud, but it was close. Too close. He stepped out of his room and stood in the hallway. The bathroom door was closed. He reached out and touched the handle. Cold, locked from the inside. The crying stopped instantly. Daniel stepped back. That night, he slept with the lights on. The bathroom door. By the third day, Daniel was exhausted. Dark circles formed under his eyes. His hands trembled when he held his coffee. He skipped classes, stayed inside. He began noticing things he hadn't before. The house always felt colder near the second bathroom. No matter how warm the rest of the house was, the mirror inside the bathroom was always fogged, even when unused. And sometimes, he thought he smelled something metallic, like rust or blood. That night, Daniel made a decision. He wouldn't run. He needed answers. The third night at 2:46 a.m., Daniel stood in the hallway, staring at the bathroom door. His phone was recording audio. His heart felt like it would burst out of his chest. Then the clock changed. 2:47 a.m. The crying began, louder than before, closer, then a whisper. "Please open the door." The voice sounded desperate, broken, human. Daniel's legs felt weak. His hands shook violently as he reached for the handle. He unlocked the door. The bathroom was empty. No woman, no movement. But the mirror was covered in handprints, dozens of them, small, large, smeared, all pressed from the inside. Then the lights flickered, and Daniel felt something breathe behind him. The truth. Daniel ran out of the house barefoot. At sunrise, he returned only to collect his belongings. Before leaving, he knocked on the neighbor's door. An old woman answered. The moment Daniel mentioned the bathroom, her face drained of color. She whispered, "7 years ago, a woman locked herself inside that bathroom." Her voice cracked. She was trapped. No one heard her. She screamed for hours. They found her at 2:47 a.m. Daniel moved out that day, but even now, sometimes at night, he still hears footsteps.